Testing.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out this afternoon. My name is Michael Watson. This is Sophia, my wife, and our daughter Inanna, and we are the proud family of Ravi, who you'll see performing shortly. Yeah. Before we begin the proceedings this afternoon, just want to take a moment and in the wake of the profound sorrow and immeasurable loss that has gripped our community, we'd like to come together in a moment of reflection to honor and remember all those who've been taken from us in a series of devastating tragedies recently. Let us join in solidarity and empathy, offering our deepest condolences, thoughts, and prayers to all those impacted by these heartbreaking events. As some of you may know, the family are having their service as we speak right now. May this moment of shared silence embody the strength, unity, and depth of our compassion during this challenging time. So just take a moment to bow our heads, close our eyes in a moment of solidarity. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good afternoon. We'll just switch places. I am Sophia Cannoneer, as Michael has said, and our daughter Inanna, and we are very proud to be here. We'd like to thank you all for coming, and if there are any government officials here, please would you make yourself known? And we thank you for coming. It's really wonderful to see so many people out. Thank you for helping us to celebrate Ravi's graduation and promotion and he is the first Bermudian dancer to join the Royal Ballet School and the Royal Ballet Company in London, UK. Bermuda's first. I see family. So as Ravi's parents, we'd like to thank you for coming to help us celebrate and also to allow us the opportunity to thank you. We are deeply grateful for the support that Bermuda has shown us as a family and has shown Ravi in particular over the last 8 years at the Royal Ballet School. We know that it takes a village to support a child, both financially and emotionally. The love and the support that we have felt as a family has been overwhelming, and we are deeply grateful. Thank you. So, back to you.
So the purpose of this free event is to show our gratitude to the people of Bermuda for their unwavering support and to join us in celebrating Ravi's tremendous achievement. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. It's hot, so we're going to do our best to move things along. We have a beautiful surprise for you at the end, and we don't want you to miss it, so we're going to keep this rolling very quickly. Ravi and his beautiful partner, Katie Robertson. Katie Robertson is from the UK. Ravi and Katie have known each other for since they were 11 years old, so they're both 19 now. Ravi and Katie are the only two left standing from the very first cohort of the Royal Ballet School from 8 years ago. Every year they'll come and tell you they get assessed out, and Ravi and Katie have never been assessed out. So it's beautiful that they can both share this moment and the dancing that they're going to do together. They're going to demonstrate an abbreviated, typical morning class that warms them up. I don't think they need much warm today, but they do need to warm their bodies up. And they would do this on a typical day before rehearsal. And I have asked Mary Falconberry with the National Dance Foundation Fund, also a former professional dancer, to talk us through the warm-up. Thank you, Michael and Inanna. And I'll just read a little bit about Mary. The National Dance Foundation Fund has provided over $1 million of scholarships and bursaries since 2005 to talented Bermudian dancers who have been accepted into world-class overseas dance institutions. Generous scholarship support has not only enabled our family to afford Ravi's education, but also given Ravi the confidence and the resilience and the reassurance that Bermuda believes in his passion, his hard work, and that it all has value. Thank you very much. We're going to get started.
Hi. Is it warm enough? So Ravi and Katie are going to demonstrate an abbreviated version of ballet class, as Sophie mentioned. Ballet class is essential to do every day. You would never walk into the studio and just start dancing. You have to sit down, you have to stretch. You usually take about half an hour, maybe, before the class even begins. So we're not seeing that half an hour before. We're going to go straight into their brief warm-up. Because this Marley is so hot up here, it's actually burning their feet a little bit. So we're going to take brief breaks in between a few exercises, if that's all right with you. All right, are we ready? So we're starting with a foot warm-up. So you'll notice the hips are a vital part of a dancer's body. The hips, the strength comes from the hips, the turnout, the external rotation. So in addition to stretching the ankles and the feet and the knees, they're getting their hips going because that is the powerhouse there. Their leg as far away from their hip as possible. They're trying to extend it out of the hip without letting the hip go. Notice their heads working with their arms. That's called épaulement. Épaulement is shouldering. It has to do with the shoulders, but the head and the arm follow each other to complete the body. And I have to say, they are stunning. Nice hamstring stretch. Checking that first balance. And they are breathing. They're not holding their breath. Breath is also essential to dancing. It makes it come alive. Thank you. We're ready to move on to pliés. Plié means to bend. So they're bending the knees, the ankles, stretching the calves. They start on 2 feet. I love that variation. So they're both in second position now. Well, Katie's actually in first. And now second. And this is fourth. position. Rond de jambe into the fourth. The upper bodies are so beautiful. When a dancer dances with their entire body, you know that they've had excellent training. Wonderful. And again. Nope. Back to pliés. Yeah, believe it or not, that's not enough. They have to do it again. So this is the second side. Interesting fact about ballet, dancers always start bar exercises holding with the left hand on the bar, and then when they finish doing that side, they always turn towards the bar to get to the other side, where they hold with the right hand. They're lifting up and out of the hips as opposed to pushing the hips forward, up into their upper back on those bends. Notice how they lay their fingers on the bar. There's no gripping of the bar ever. You should be able to do all of these exercises without a bar, and they will be showing you that later. But in the beginning, it's nice to be able to really focus on what your body is doing and just have that little bit of security in case you need it. Circular port de bras. Notice how they cross the front foot over the back foot. So one supports the other. So if you're falling back, you can push with that foot. If you're falling forward, you push with the other foot. All right. Their feet are cooling off right now. Anybody have a question about any of those? No? Think of your questions. I'd be happy to answer. So a ballet dancer's day starts quite early. Well, I take that back. They usually let us sleep in. So we would have class about 10. And then we would work in class till 11:45. This was my typical day. And I assume theirs will be similar to this. So an hour and 45-minute class. 15-minute break to grab some water, sit down, back into the studio, and then you have 3 hours of rehearsal with 5 minutes break on the hour, union rules. Then you have an hour lunch break, and then you come back for another 3 hours with 5 minutes. So it's an 8-hour dancing day. And for the girls, that could mean point shoes. If they start their day with a point class, that could be being in the point shoes for 8 hours. It's not fun. And they're back. So now we're going into tendus. Tendu is to stretch the leg, and again, they're stretching out of the hip, through the feet, using the feet through the floor. Always testing the balance. So even though they're moving more quickly than they were before, they have to have the same amount of control. Did you notice that turn towards the bar? That was a détourné. Other side. Jetés. All right, jeté means to throw. So they're taking the leg off of the floor now, going still through, all the way through the tips of the toes, and stretching. Those little taps they do are called piqués, which means pricked. Beautiful. Rond de jambe is round of the leg. So they're doing retiré, développé, and now rond de jambe. Rond de jambe en l'air is off of the ground. And the direction they're going is called en dehors. You always remember that as en dehors, out the door. Dedans, so in, dans in French. So I guess you've noticed by now all of the terminology is in French for ballet. Stretching. The exercises for a ballet class are going to change every day, but the order is generally always the same. Always the same. Beautiful. Thank you. All right. their feet have to cool off. You'll notice that they stand with their arms out in second quite a bit. The arm, if you were to go and push on it, it wouldn't move. Their arms come from their backs. You're using that to support the arm, so it's not loosey-goosey out here, but very, very strong and reaching away from the body. Their lines are actually stunning, and you will know, if you follow ballet, that every company has a style, and the Royal Ballet style is beautiful, long lines, very well placed hips, shoulders, strong core, gorgeous feet. And I think Katie and Ravi definitely have all of that. Gosh, could you imagine standing in the sun doing this right now? No. Oh, yes. What, after class, they go straight into rehearsal? Is that what you were asking? So rehearsal would be for whatever ballets are going to be on that season? Yep. So normally after class, or maybe before class, you go and you check the company board. And the company board will have notices, and it'll have the schedule for the day, and it'll tell you where you will be required and when, and what roles you should be focusing on.
So they go straight into being on stage for the public to go and see them straight away?
After graduating from the school, they've actually been performing.
They've graduated from the school, right?
They have graduated from the school, and in the school they have actually been performing quite a bit. So they are experienced, and they have learned to handle the nerves of performing, getting on stage, how to perform. Performance is a little different than actually doing a class in the studio. You have to sometimes alter your line or your angle for the audience's point of view. So learning to perform is a whole nother skill.
Right. Thank you very much.
I think they're well prepared for the Royal Ballet. I've seen videos of their performances, and when you see them with doing the pas de deux at the end of today's program, I'm sure you'll agree. Your feet are ready? Thank you for your question. Good one. Ooh, cool breeze. This is fondue, and we all know that, melted cheese. Fondue is to melt. So the fondue is on their standing leg, and a well-trained dancer is going to développer the other leg at the same time that the standing leg straightens. So they bend together and they stretch together. And the arms and upper body are coordinated with that movement. Oh, rond de jambe en l'air again. The stretching of the leg off of the ground is called a développé. Sometimes you will take it from the ankle, sometimes you'll take it from the knee, generally from the knee. Lovely balances. So that balance was in attitude, which is shorter than an arabesque. An arabesque would be a straight leg. This is attitude with the arms in fit. Allongé. frappe. Frappe means to strike or hit, and you'll see that with their feet. Ooh, sneaky pirouette in there. Pretty fancy footwork. So you're getting your feet and legs moving quickly so that you're ready for your petit allegro. Petit allegro is small jumps. The body has to really be ready for that before you start jumping. Hey. About absolutely. Good question. Good question, Jennifer. So the question was, what type of supplementary training do they get? They're very fortunate at the Royal Ballet to have a comprehensive care for the dancers. So they're learning about their bodies, health and wellness. They have conditioning studios that are superb, and practitioners who work with them on injury prevention, and also on getting stronger. You'll notice that Ravi has to be quite developed, and you'll see why in a moment when he's lifting Katie up over his head. He probably is doing I know he is. He's doing some heavier weight lifting to prepare for that so that his shoulders don't become injured. As the dancers are growing, particularly when they're in school, if you have a growth spurt, you have to be really careful about the knees and the back, so they're going to be taking more care of that. So yes, they do that. They do a lot of extra training, a lot of Pilates, one of my favorite things to do now. The aging dancers, they start with Pilates, then they go back to Pilates. So Sophia, Ravi's mom, is a fabulous Pilates teacher. Well, yes, I'm not bad. Thank you.
If there are any more questions, I can go. They're ready.
Okay, great. Yeah. So this is called adagio. Adagio is moving slowly, sustained movement, and they're doing développés. So they come up through coup de pied, up to retiré, and then développé to an extension. Here's an arabesque and a penché. Beautiful. Watch how they use the feet, how they peel the feet up off of the floor. Long line. Balance in retiré. Not easy. So in a balance, you have to think about pulling your core back and up. You have to think of pulling your ribs down so that they're not flaring out. Otherwise, your shoulders are behind your hips and you fall backwards. Sorry, Katie. I jinxed you. Beautiful. And grand battement. So grand battement is your last bar exercise. But if you watch what happens to the leg, it starts in fifth, it goes through a tendu to a jeté, and then all the way up to the grand battement. So all of that preparation they did at the very beginning of class is here. The hips are warm now. Beautiful. Thank you. Eugene. Yeah, stretch. The most favorite part of class. If they were to let go of their leg, it would stay. But stretching is a nice time to catch your breath, feel the legs in the hips. Barre is done. Now there was a question over here. Yes. Why are we not using a white floor? Because dance Marley is typically black. I guess that's the simplest answer. Dance Marley, this is called Marley, or in the UK they call it lino, linoleum. And this is a covering that goes over a wood floor. Good, very good question. I'm glad you asked that. That goes over the wood floor so that every time a dancer goes onto a stage, they have a consistent and familiar surface. It does come in white, but you can imagine that it would get marked up. So there are some ballets, actually, I remember way back. I even had a ballet once that I was in where it was a canvas cloth that came down from the back of the stage all the way down and to the front of the stage. It's important, though, to have a familiar surface that you can trust. Yeah. I think maybe how many hours a day are they training? 8 hours. Was that me or you? 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day. So an hour and 45-minute class generally, 15-minute break, 3 hours, hour break for lunch, and then another 3 hours. Yeah. If you are in a performance season, that schedule changes. You still have the hour and 45-minute class, but then your rehearsal period is usually shortened because you will be in the theater that evening or that afternoon and evening sometimes. If you have a matinee and an evening performance, you'll do class in the morning, you'll have maybe an hour, maybe two of rehearsal, then you'll do the matinee performance, usually about 2 o'clock. Then you'll have a break, then you go back into the theater for another class, a shortened class, so you do class twice, but that second one is just a shorter one, and then you have your evening performance. It's a very long day, very long day. And it's hard on the body, which is why it's so important to take care of your body.
We have a question here, Mary.
Yeah.
Just wondering the relationship between the dancing and the music.
They go together.
If you can speak more on that.
More on that. So I think you can tell when a dancer feels the music. That's how we would term it. You feel the music, and it comes from within, and your body moves with that. You can see actually the movement comes right from the center of their body. You can also see the reflection on their face of the music. You know, if it's happy, if it's sad, they have to be actors as well as dancers.
Just wondering, like the stretches, are they prescribed with the music?
No.
Or is it
Well, there are a lot of composers and pianists who have done ballet class music. Ballet class music tends to be fairly simple, straightforward. You're very lucky if you have a brilliant pianist live in your studio to play, because that just brings all that more emotion out. But generally, ballet class music is fairly straightforward. You'll notice, though, that the center music becomes a little bit more complex, a little bit more like choreography, because they are doing more choreography in the center. So we're going to be seeing that as soon as their feet recover. My gosh, I can feel it myself. Good question.
One more question.
Yes.
Sorry, it's only short. What do they eat?
Well, you know, I can say, because Katie has been staying with me, and Ravi was over for dinner the other night, and I can tell you they eat a lot. They eat a lot. We had huge bowls of pasta full of vegetables and chicken, and they also loved the bread. So that's a tricky question, though. It's double-sided, because not all dancers can eat everything they want, whenever they want. These two are fortunate. Some have to watch their diets, but that is a very long discussion that we could have, I think.
Part two.
Yeah. Ready? All right, so we're now into what we call center work. And Ravi's going to do tendus again. So he did tendus at the bar. He's going to do tendus again, without the bar. So notice how his body is angled. Oh, he's showing all the angles. Thank you, Ravi. Right on cue. Pirouette. This is croisé, which means crossed. Écarté. Chassé par bourrée, pirouette. You see how the facial expression adds so much to it? He's enjoying himself. Thank you. It's much better than not enjoying yourself. So this is an adagio. épaulement. It's coming right from her center. So again, she's showing the different body positions. This is à la seconde, coupé, pas de Barre, chassé into arabesque. Promenade, you're pivoting on the ball of the foot with the heel coming around, staying in your turnout. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Katie. If you've ever been to the theater and sat behind a dancer, you'll know it. My husband is always after me because I can't sit still. And my head is going, and hopefully that's all that starts moving. But you just, once a dancer, always a dancer. Any questions? You have one?
You're only going to do 2 pirouettes because the stage is sticky.
Right. Okay. All right. With the pirouettes, 2 pirouettes is very safe, right? And they're going to stick to 2, not because it's safe, but because, well, yeah, actually, this floor is sticky, so it's causing some torque on their feet and ankles, and then obviously that goes all the way up through the knees, through the hips, to the back. So they're sticking with 2 pirouettes today. It's also hot on the balls of the feet. So if you wonder why they're not doing more, because Ravi, I have seen him do many, many pirouettes, and Katie as well, they are going to stick to 2 today for safety. Okay, let me get out of the way. Exercise like this, Ravi would probably be doing a minimum 3, probably 4 or 5 pirouettes. And now, petit allegro. So petit is small, allegro is fast. All footwork, ankles and feet. This is where the strength in the feet really is important. Right through the toes. So Ravi's adding beats to his jump now, and Katie. Simple change is called a changement. All right. Yep. Grand Allegro. Oh. Oh. Sorry. Oh, Petit Allegro. Glissade, jeté, sauté, ronde-jambe, pas de Barre, entrecôte. And the jetés have a beat. So Katie's doing a quick change into her point shoes, so you'll be able to see some point work. Ravi's getting sprayed down. Maybe drink some water, if you can.
Do you want a break? This is our...
Do you want to say anything? Thank you.
This is the in-between. Yeah. Michael and I will talk.
Am I talking?
Do you want the umbrella?
Yeah.
Sure. So just while these guys are changing, getting ready for their pas de deux, there are many people in today's audience and also watching the live stream performance that we and Ravi would like to thank for their generous and committed support. Financial supporters, members of the National Dance Foundation of Bermuda, Fund Scholarship, and development committees, including Mr. Brian O'Hara. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The Bermuda Arts Council and the Peter Lettner Arts Council, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And also Ravi's teachers, Miss Katrina Woodley,
Katrina's not here today.
Miss Cora Waddell,
He's over there. Yes.
and the formidable Madam Patricia Gray. Yeah, thank you very much.
We also want to thank our anonymous we would also like to thank our anonymous, very generous donors and sponsors who have really supported our family through the 8 years of the Royal Ballet. And you are out there in the audience today. We thank you and honor you very much. Thank you very much.
It is a very competitive field, but those who have the talent really love it. They just want it even more. The world needs the arts. This is evidenced during COVID, where music, dance, and arts were flooding social media. The art kept us going. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just say one thing. They were supposed to do Grand Allegro, but they're not.
Okay.
I'm going to just say that. So we cut short one exercise, but I think you'll appreciate why. The Grand Allegro, which is big jumps, lots of energy, and in this heat, it's not safe to push Ravi any more, especially now that he's going to be lifting a young lady up over his head. We want him to have all of his strength for that. And I think Grand Allegro might have been pushing it a little bit too much. So thank you for understanding that. And while they are getting ready, I'll introduce what they are going to perform. It's a pas de deux choreographed by the very famous Frederick Ashton from the Royal Ballet. And they've been dancing this for a couple of months. It is a beautiful pas de deux to the Rhapsody in D music, which is quite familiar. And it involves turns, lifts, beautiful lines, and it's only 3 or 4 minutes long. But I think a typical variation or pas de deux for a couple is going to be about that length, all right? Because dancers, it takes a lot of energy. So You know, I think a 5-minute variation is an excruciating amount of time. There are some like that, but usually you get a break here and there. They're going to be going full out for the 3-4 minutes. So they'll be ready in just a moment. Thank you.
You and I watch me. How do you top that? Oh my gosh. I feel like we need another moment of silence. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Bermuda. Thank you, Michael, because without you, Ravi would not be here.
Ravi inherited my hairy legs. That's about it, yeah.
We want to wish you a very safe and happy summer. Ravi and Katie will be signing some autographs for your coolness. We invite you to just come up here, or we'll come down to you. If anyone would like to donate to his GoFundMe, professional development, Michael will tell you a little bit about that, what he's planning on doing.
So his ongoing professional development for Ravi requires constant care, including therapy, as well as good medical attention, all of which costs money. If you're willing and would like to help us out, any donation would be greatly appreciated. We do have a GoFundMe set up for Ravi. If you'd like details of that, please come and see me and I can pass that on to you. Also, any cash donations will be greatly received as well. So if you'd like to donate, that would be greatly received and appreciated from us. So thank you. I hope you've appreciated what these young dancers have been through, and they are exceptional in what they do. How many 19-year-olds are doing this at this level in anything? Yeah.
They still have enough energy to talk to you.
Yeah.
So they're going to come forward now and just say a few words. I'll go out and give you the microphone if you have some questions.
Any questions? Just say thank you.
Just thank you. This is a win for Bermuda. This isn't an individual effort. I'm just a product of the support that I've had over the years, and I can't claim this myself. My parents, everyone who's donated money to me, family, friends, all people of Bermuda who are here and abroad and have mentioned me, have just said a word of congratulations or support to my family or financially. Just thank you, Mom and Dad, for everything you guys have done. I know it's not been easy these last couple of years, but this is a give back to you guys as much as it is to everyone. But these are the ones who did it. I'm just a product. It's these two. And I want to thank my partner Katie for coming out here. Phenomenal dancer. She's been with me from the very beginning, and really wouldn't have been able to do this without her coming here. So thank you so much, Katie.
Thank Mary Falconberry and Terry.
And Mary Falconberry and Terry Falconberry for looking after her so well and feeding us. Yes, but all of Bermuda, this is a win for everyone, and I hope to share this with you. This is, as much as it is a prestigious achievement, this is a win for Bermuda, and it'll always be a win for Bermuda, and I hope there's many more to come. Thank you very much.
For those of you, if you've never been to the ballet before, Ravi and Katie will both be performing in the fall season of the Royal Ballet, which is at the Opera House in Covent Garden. If you haven't been, please do so. Their schedule is up. They will be performing in, I think, 3 or 4 ballets coming up before Christmas, and certainly Cinderella as well happening over Christmas. So if you're in London, please check them out. They will be there. Okay, thank you so much. Are there any questions? No. Any questions? No? Okay. Thank you to Eugene Dean and, a question, okay.
Time and place, but what was in your breast milk, Sophia? How do you grow these grandchildren?
I do not have an answer for that.
I had a very, very good start. I personally had very good teachers. I had a dream, and I passed that dream along.
Yes, Ravi, and respect to the family and everyone. It's just I had to be here. When I'm looking at ballet, and especially from a male perspective, the athleticism. I think you're bringing, you're showing the athleticism through your body structure. Talk about that a bit, because I think, it's not seen as much as this athleticism and this bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And when you look at your body, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, I brought my son here, and when he saw the pictures of you, yes, his eyes popped out because he's tall like you. And I told him you don't need to be doing a lot of weights and stuff. So talk about that to the young people and let them know you don't have to do, what you do to be, just to have what you do.
I think you just have to be, it's just consistency every day. I always like to say the first thing a really important thing one of my teachers taught me while I was abroad was just to show up is the first step you can take every day to self-improvement. If you just show up, you're already there, and you can do what you need, in the day. But it's consistently showing up, even if you don't feel like it, you're tired, you're sick, you've not eaten enough, you've not slept enough. It's showing up regardless, and still putting the work in. But we don't work 100% every day. We work 100% up here, but we work to how our body's feeling. But we still work to 100% of how we're feeling on that day. So it's that using the maximal energy that we have. To rather than saying just pushing yourself to a breaking point every day, you push yourself to an optimal rate where you can still improve, but you're not breaking yourself, because our bodies are our instruments, and there are tools that we need to keep with us. They're expensive. We can't replace them. So it's looking after ourselves, good diet, consistent diet, rather than just kind of dropping in and out of how I feel like this today or I don't feel like this today. It's staying disciplined, and that's the discipline of ballet. You have to stick with it. It's because it's not easy. It's going to be the highs are super high, the lows are super low, but you just have to remember that you're going to be going through both. So when you're in the lowest, you have to remember a high is coming, and when you're highest, you have to remember a low is coming. You just have to stay humble in that fluctuation, and you just keep going through it. Yeah. Just go.
Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate you coming out. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Thank you.